So you see, I think what happened here is possibly when they entered the game, they mistakenly put a 1 in front of the 800 and made it 1818. I challenged my chat to a game of high or low using Guess the Elo. The idea here isn't to get the rating of the players correct. The idea is rather to guess if the players are on average higher rated or lower rated than in the previous game that we looked at. I was very confident, so I put a couple of gifted subs on the line, and here is how that went. Okay, so what's gonna happen? We will be guessing at the same time, so I will lock in my guess with my super high-tech card. Whoever has the highest score after 5 is declared the winner. And if I lose, I shall get 5 subs. Are you guys ready? Let us look at the 1600 rated game. 1661, this is the rating, this is the benchmark level. For the next game, we will have to decide if it's higher or lower. But no, oh, hello. Okay, there were some fireworks. So bishop takes h6. We're going forward. I mean, does that sacrifice work? So there are some tactics. I think that was calculated. It seems like a decent attempt. Oh, hello. Hello, that's an entire queen blender. Is it 1661 and it's not one of my games? Maybe it was back in the hashtag just 1600 days. But okay, so we had a queen blender, we then have a rook blender, black is falling apart. I'm gonna be honest, this would have been a very tricky game to guess, because based on the queen blender, it lowers the level quite a bit, but then the rest of the play, not terrible, and white did a nice conversion. But yeah, 1661s, they do yeet their queens as well, so that is our benchmark level. 1661. The games are beginning. We're going on to the next game. Alright, so keep in mind, do you think this game is higher or lower than 1661? You guys can guess in chat or start discussing. I will try ignore chat so that I'm not busy getting insight from your great wisdom. And I will try to come to my own conclusions, and then I'll put the vote up after I've locked in my vote. So we've got e4, we've got e6. French, they have to be like an 8, wait. They have to be an 800, but I don't want to give you guys any tips. Alright, we've got an exchange variation, which may say something about the variation. Bishops go back. Otherwise, nice development though. Can only really fault these players for playing the French. Alright, we're hopping around. There's some very interesting moves here. It's not a queen blender. And they decide not to do the repetition. Developing the pieces, finally getting the knight into the game just a little bit. Attacking the queen again. The queen is running out of squares to go to. Although fortunately you can't play g4 because then they just munch the pawn on h3. So getting the nice knight to a very nice square. I'm looking for some wild tactics. Like wild tactics might give us an idea of the level, because I'm gonna be honest, this is quite tricky for me so far. Okay, we took a bishop over there. Rook took, queen goes across, we save the bishop. Rook's on the 7th. They know like a little bit of what's happening. Well, this is actually a really tricky one to start off with, because there's some moves that make 0 sense. Like, what happened here? There was a knight. Maybe there was some miscounting? There might also be time trouble. We're on move 38. Okay, we're munching pawns. Let's see how they... Oh. Then it's over after this. I don't know if this was resignation. I don't know if black ran out of time. Oy, this is a really tricky one. I'm not actually sure. We're gonna do a very quick replay of the entire game. Oh, no. This is so tricky. I really hope you guys are battling as well. Alright, surely you wouldn't do that though. I'm basing my entire decision off of one move. Alright, you guys can vote. 1 in the chat if you think that it is higher rated. 2 in the chat if you think that it is lower rated. Get your votes in. This one's very tricky. I'm glad we started off with the 1600 and that this is the comparison. Okay, a lot of people are going higher. I'm not gonna say what I did. I'm not gonna say what I voted for because I don't want to sway you, but I am literally basing this off of, I think, move 3. Which I don't know if that's a good strategy or not, but this is what I've decided to stick and go with. You guys have had a minute to vote. I think we're gonna call it over there. So we already are going to diverge in terms of scores because you guys voted higher. I voted lower, based solely on the fact. Okay, it wasn't move 3. Wait, I'm basing it off of move 5. Why would you go bishop b5? Because you could just block it with the pawn. You could just go c6 and the bishop has to go back, unless that's a good thing. I don't see why it would be a good thing. Why wouldn't you just go bishop d3 in the first place? So I'm gonna say like 1500 as my guess, but it's so overall lower. Moment of truth. It's 1783? Oh no, this is not off to a good start. Okay, so you guys are pulling into the lead. That was close though, that was a crazy game. So we're gonna go 1783 was the previous one. And you guys have got 1 point. I remain with a big fat 0 next to my name. Slightly starting to regret. No, it's fine. I'm used to getting bullied by you guys in any case. So let us hide this. It was tricky. Like some of the moves are really good and some of the moves are really terrible, and I'm not entirely sure what's happening. I did just base it off of c6. I was like, who would play that? But then the play at the end was pretty decent conversion. Was a pretty good conversion. Okay, let's go on to the next game. So our reference point now is 1783. 1783, and what is at stake? I have said that if I lose, I will give 5 subs to the community. Not cubs. I don't have any cubs, but I will gift 5 subs to the community if you guys end up winning. So I'm gonna have to make a little bit of a comeback now. We've got an e4, e5. I mean, 1700 and still playing the French. What is wrong with people? Okay, this game looks a little bit better though. We've got a. How do you pronounce it again? Yoko piano? I think it's that. Not entirely sure. No free cubs. You didn't miss here. I just misspoke. Alright, is this? Ooh, we have some tactics. So the idea here is we're attacking f7 and black doesn't defend it. I have a fairly good idea of how the ratings compared to 1700. I think I have a decent idea. Are we gonna get a queen blunder though? Because that would be pretty cool. And GG, white wins. Not the longest game. We've got 16 moves to judge this on. Okay, I'm getting my high-tech pieces of paper back. I'm fairly confident in this one. Fairly confident in this one. Let me just check. I have the right piece of paper. Alright, you guys, we'll do a quick replay just in case anyone missed it. Point of reference, remember, is 1700s. The exact score is on the screen. So e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. We develop the bishop. Beautiful over here. That's like, it's an aggressive move. It's tactic things that don't entirely work out, but maybe they could. Then we end up having a fork. Black drops the rook. There's a bunch of exchanges. Remember, when you're up material, you're supposed to exchange, and white is doing that beautifully. And yeah, game over. 16 moves. Can we call that a miniature? I'm not entirely sure. But yes, I have an idea of how the ratings might be compared to 1700s. You guys can now vote 1 in the chat if you think they are higher rated on average, 2 in the chat if you think they are lower rated on average. I'm seeing a lot of votes coming in already. Remember, you don't want to troll because there are gifted subs at stake. You guys want to win. Why would white resign in this? No, white won. White won this game. They didn't resign. I think black resigned. Possibly because they're about to lose the knight, because if you move the knight out of the way, then black is just dropping an entire queen, and presumably this is a player who's higher rated than 1900, 1935 to be exact, which might be the hashtag chess rating, and they notice when they're about to blunder their queen. They decided not to do that. Okay, we're getting a fairly convincing result over here. It's been a minute. I think I'm gonna call it. You guys have decided that it is Laura. I also chosen Laura. Just a hunch. It's a lot easier that we don't have to decide. We don't have to decide exactly what we would like to choose. I'm gonna say though 800, just as a random guess. So you see, I think what happened here is possibly when they entered the game, they mistakenly put a 1 in front of the 800 and made it 1818, because it was actually 818. So I think we count that as a win? Perhaps? The knight move? Which knight move? What? How is this 1800 though? We're not gonna name and shame, so we're not gonna go have a look. But we we will just say that that was a surprise. We shall just say that was a surprise. And I realized I played through the entire game with the thing over the screen. Pro production strats. You expect nothing less over here. Yeah, the backward night capture. The two of you who voted for higher were correct. And I don't know, I don't know how. Please give us hints for how we should vote. I thought that one was in the bag. Like that one we didn't even have to think about. Clearly we did. Okay, 1818 is now our new reference category, I guess. This is definitely a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. I thought this was easy. We're not gonna check the game link because we feel bad for the players. We don't want to name and shame. We're gonna go on to the next one. We're gonna go on to the next one. Okay, we've got e4, d6. See, this also makes me think things about the players, but now I don't know what to think because after the last game, what? I suppose at least 1800 is a good starting point. It makes things a little bit easier. Look at the queens being attacked. We've got a pawn chasing away the... Oh, maybe it's a 0 to 700 because they've been doing their building habits course and they know as soon as a knight or a bishop goes to g4, g5, b4 or b5, you attack it with a pawn. And we have some good play over there. Alright, ignoring the pawns, which makes it a little higher rated perhaps. Okay, jumping the pieces in. A lot of these moves are not... Okay, they spotted the h7 mate, which is pretty impressive. Okay, queen trades. Black has a beautiful pair of bishops. Okay, we trade them off. Ooh, black starts winning some pawns. Trades off one of the beautiful bishops. You can't have a beautiful pair of bishops if you only have one bishop. Oh, and then it's just GG because, I mean, you can take the bishop back. Material is equal, but you got terrible pawns and even more of a problem. Black's about to promote a queen. I'm gonna go Instinct, which has, I would say it has not failed me yet. It has failed me twice so far, but we shall just ignore that. I'll play through the game once more, just in case it changes any of our thoughts. A lot of moves I'm not entirely understanding, which means it's either a lot lower than me or a lot higher than me. One of these two things. Although, what do I know? Because we all saw the previous game. Okay, I have my guess. You guys can start guessing in the chat. After the previous game, all I know is we are all wrong. I know I still don't know. I can't get over that previous game. That was crazy. How was that previous one in 1818? But okay, we'll see how this goes. Yes, they are all 3-minute blitz games. I assume rated as well. So and taken from the entire database, so it's not like it's people busy trolling to have their games put in guess the elo. It's not like that. Alright, seems fairly convincing. 16 votes to 4 that Laura has won. Let us finish the poll. The votes are in. I have also guessed Laura. If this is not Laura, I think I need to retire from chess because it's gotta be. This one I would guess like 1,000 though, maybe. 987? It's not a terrible guess. We will take that. Okay, so chat gets a point and I get a point as well. So you guys are up at 2. I'm still trailing by 1. I don't know how I could have beaten that though, because honestly, that game was too tough. All right, so this one is 987. This is our new reference category. You guys are doing well so far. Not total putts the game. That's why I was thinking like 1,000. They were doing pretty well. There were some good moves there, but the bishop trades and the endgame play was a little bit of a hint, perhaps. Alright, we've got a Sicilian, which we now know could be a 0 to 700 rated player because I got a lot of those in the pool. So Sicilian, let's see if they play theory. How they do over here. We've got ourselves a nice little knight off. Oh, and I approve this could be one of my games. Okay. I go bishop e3 over there. Bishop d3, sorry. Developing my light squared bishop, but maybe this is a different way to play it that I should look into. Okay, the pawn push as well. We can learn from this game, perhaps. Okay, we get a lot of bishop for knight trades today. We're having pawns being pushed. We're putting the rook there, which makes me wonder just a little bit because it is attacked. It's attacked by a bishop, but we don't take that. We take the pawn instead. Then we bring the queen across. Okay. I'm not understanding most of this game, which could mean that it's like Grandmaster level. This is crazy. Okay, white's attacking. Doesn't even go for, oh my goodness. And now material is equal after all of this? And then white wins. I suppose white does have some very advanced pawns. Was that time travel stuff? I genuinely don't know what I'm thinking about this one. I mean, I have a general idea. it perhaps a little bit easier that we know the last rating is 900. I'll play through it quickly again so you guys can see what's happening. It was all going interestingly, like I was pretty sure about the strength of the players, or I had a good general idea, and then this happened. This happened and I'm not quite understanding. So rook takes. I presume you take with the knight. Maybe you're taking with the knight and you're coming in and attacking the king? I would guess. It's far above my pay grade. Then we're just, okay, attacking, so threatening mate, you can't take it because it's pinned. Rook goes across for more of an attack. Knight drops back to defend. Bishop goes back because black has some really, really advanced passed pawns. The king's running across, which is not a natural looking move for most of us. The rook falls. Craziness, absolute craziness. Okay, I know what general high or lower rating this is. But there we go, let us get you guys voting. I've locked in my decision. I think the dog agrees with you, chat. I think the dog also agrees that it is higher rated. Listen to that. Definitely agreeing. I have also said higher rated. I'm gonna guess like 2300 because I didn't understand a lot of that. It might even be higher than that. 26, 25? Well, that's fairly high. That's definitely fairly high. We both got it right though. We both did get it right, so it is now 3-2. And this makes it tricky because odds are the next game is going to be lower rated. Do you guys feel so confident that you're happy to vote lower before you've even seen the game? How do we feel about this? How confident are you? Let's have a poll for that actually. Okay, we've got some confident people in chat. Okay, so you guys are gonna lock in your vote as lower. Chat has voted lower. They're pre-voted. They're so confident. Let us see. Let us see if this works out. E4, C5, knight F3, D4. Okay. I mean, I think you're fairly safe. Although this is maybe looking theory-ish. Okay, we had an early queen trade. We did have an early queen trade and then a lot of chasing. That's a really awkward space to... Oh no. Although, spotting some decent moves. Or just forgetting about things. Possibly just forgetting about things. Okay, white is now down in exchange. Black's trading pieces. The knights do be hopping around. We're dropping more and more pawns. The king is being harassed. We're dropping more pawns. Getting harassed even more. This is a nightmare for white. I think I can predict how this game is gonna go. Unless it's a like flag at the end or stalemate or something. But I'm pretty sure that black is just gonna convincingly win this. Oh no, and there are no knights left. And then there's a queen. And then there's a... I don't know if this is great technique or slow technique. This is Rebecca technique. Taking like 20 moves to checkmate when you could checkmate in 3 moves. I mean, I suppose I have to vote higher because if I vote lower and I get it right, then it's 3 points for me, but it's 5 points for you. So if I vote higher and get it right, then I can beat you. No, then I can equal the score. So I've got to go higher. I think it's lower. But we're gonna guess that this is secretly Hikaru busy playing chess. So we're gonna go 3000. 2400 with time pressure. Realistic vote, I'd probably go for like 2000. 2486. It was close-ish. It was definitely close-ish. Well done. Well done, chat. It is official. It is official. Chat has got 5 points. Rebecca has got 2. It was very close though. You guys are good opponents. Well done. And there we go. 5 gifted subs. Thank you, #chess for being terrible.